Come into a smooth production of Baggin and Braggin, episode number 15, as we prepare ourselves for Corpus Christi. Not so much this show, but we're heading into Corpus Christi for national number one, Meesh. It is
been a long couple weeks. I don't have to tell you.
It has arrived. There's a lot of preparation that goes into these nationals, but most importantly, how are you doing? How are things?
I am maxed out on meetings.
Yeah,
what I am.
I say your tour is going strong. You've had ACL live this and around the ACL. What, 3 weeks in a row now? 2 weeks in a row?
I don't know, but not just that. There's been like a meeting in every department, multiple meetings, and I'm in every department. So it has just been meetings upon meetings upon meetings, and I've gone straight through today, and I am delirious. So I apologize.
No, you're all good. I was actually trying to get more of the commercials done, but unfortunately, I think I'm just going to stop it at 4. Like, there's too much other stuff to go into. We got a lot of feedback when we did the draft about us not researching players. So I've been doing research on a lot of the players that we're getting ready to, get in front of, because I mean, this is go time. There's no more who are these people. Like, we have all the information in front of us. These are all pros. We should know who they are. So it's gonna be exciting. But on today's episode, we got the lines in finally, Meesh. We've been waiting for those, so we'll go over what DraftKings thinks is going to happen. Some kind of interesting ones, and I feel like if I were allowed to bet, this would be the one I'd go hard on.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of players who are getting some very, very good odds, and we'll kind of go through that, and then we'll talk about our broadcast schedule. We have the Missouri Maze against the Arizona Burn on our broadcast court, so we'll kind of take a deeper dive into that. And then we got a little mindset with Meesh segment at the end there.
Looking forward to it. Definitely was hoping to have a lot of rest coming into this big weekend. Yeah. It's not so much happening. So I'm going to talk about, how we can best prepare for these long cornhole tournaments. Obviously for us, we're coming on the commentator side, but it's very similar. Like, the things that the pros have to do and we have to do to make it through these weekends is not that far off.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not sure if it's coming across on the video or not, but my right eye is twitching.
My right eye's been twitching.
I got absolutely no sleep. I am.
Yes.
I took a Tylenol PM, I think at 11:15 yesterday, and I laid in bed till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I just could not sleep, and I'm like, what is going on? Because I'll have to cycle sometimes between like melatonin or regular, or like I'll go work out at night or something. Or I'll just sit in the bathtub in a hot shower. It's just like I just cannot fall asleep lately. And I don't know if it's because of the events that we got coming up. I mean, the travel schedule is nonstop. Matter of fact, before we hopped on a phone call here, I just got hired to do another gig. So we'll do Corpus Christi this weekend, and then I'll head to Michigan for the state championships up there. Austin Renard and Kill Shots hooking me up with another gig. So we'll be doing that. And then we go into Kansas City, or technically Kansas, and then South Dakota. So I'm gone like all these weeks in a row. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then it gets even crazier after that as far as shootouts and national tournament schedules go. So I'm not sure if I mentioned on this show or not, but I'm planning on moving back to Alton.
So it's official now.
Yeah, I can't pass up that deal. My mom gave me a great deal on the house, and I'm going to try and figure out when to do it. I posted my couch and recliner for sale today. So my head just got all these things that I got to do before I head back home. But it was kind of funny. I wanted to talk to you about this. I had a TikTok yesterday I was watching at like 10 o'clock at night. And I was scrolling, like, it made no sense for my algorithm, right? But it just happened to pop up, and it's like, how to get deep sleep. I'm going to hypnotize you into going to deep sleep right now.
Because you're on your phone in the middle of the night. It's like,
well, no, I wasn't. But I'm like, okay, I've been laying in bed for 3 hours now. You know what I mean? Something's got to change. Maybe I'll just get tired. So anyway, this guy's like, I'm going to count back from 10 and I'm going to hypnotize you. Listen to the sound of my voice. 10, look at the back of your eyelids. 9, feel the air in the room. 8, just control your breathing. 7, feel it from your head down to your toes. 6, everything is relaxing. 4. And I'm like, you skipped 5.
So that is
I woke up because
hypnotherapy technique.
Skipping a number?
Oh, did we lose you?
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh, no, now you're back. You froze for a second. So
Yeah,
so in
so skipping a number is
Yeah,
natural?
no, so in hypnotherapy, the way you put people in trance is you confuse their, conscious mind so that the conscious mind gets distracted and starts trying to look over here, and then you can start hang out with the subconscious mind. So you do a lot of this, like, skipping numbers or not finishing sentences or saying sentences that don't make sense, and so you put people in confusion, and then it allows you to get bypass the critical factor.
Didn't work on me at all. Woke me right back
You're
up.
all, "What?"
I was like, "Hold on, now I gotta rewind it,
They
see
did
if
it
you
too
skipped the number."
soon. They did it too
Yeah.
soon. So you gotta get people a lot more relaxed before you can start sneaking them there, and they go like, wait, what is what?" And but
Yeah.
if you do it too soon, it's jarring. So it's a
Yeah, it
technique.
jarred me.
Hypnotherapy is a technique. I mean, not everybody's good at it. It's
Yeah,
funny though.
but yeah, no sleep yet, so as soon as we get done recording here, I'll be right back in bed crashing and sleeping the rest of the day, hopefully, and fly out tomorrow. It's go time.
Yep, I'll be flying out Thursday morning, bright and early. So I got tomorrow. I have a clear day to pack and hopefully do some restorative yoga and prepare my body for a long weekend, which I'll talk about some of those techniques a little bit later in the show. But we'll take a quick break here and we will come back with our Braggin section right after this. Okay, I don't know about you, but like my green screen's doing this thing where it's making my top of my head look crazy, and I think it's my hair. So we're gonna try this. Yeah, see, it fixed it. Nope, it
There we
didn't
go.
fix it. I'm still illuminating. It is what it is. I'm over it.
Nobody
All right.
notices.
Nobody nobody noticed until I just pointed it out.
Right.
All right. We be bragging. We be bragging.
Bragging them on green screens.
Bragging on my green screen. I was on ACL Live and my dog, well, actually, I'll take a step back. My green screen, the way that it stays straight is I have a drill sitting on my futon, keeping it from spinning. So that's how fancy we are over here. And so my dog, Sunshine, gets up and knocks the drill down, and my green screen just goes, just
as
repeats.
Corn would say, professional cornhole.
So
A professional broadcast, yeah.
So we bring you over here. So
Yeah.
not bragging on the green screen, but you know, we make do.
Well, the green screen's doing its job. I mean, it's providing the background. It's just providing some extra stuff too. Just tell people you got glitter in your hair. Speaking of glitter, I'm gonna brag on a show I've been watching. I gotta brag on HBO's lineup of TV shows. I've been
Okay, tell
watching
me.
a new show, Euphoria, with Zendaya.
That is not new.
Well, it's new to me, but it's only
This
2
was like all
seasons.
the talk like a
It's
year or
only 2
two.
seasons.
I know, but it's like
New to me.
it was literally everywhere like a year ago.
Yeah, no, it's a new show to me. I got done finishing, caught up on The Mandalorian and all that stuff, and then
Wait,
I started
Mandalorian's
watching
Disney
Euphoria.
Plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I downloaded Cinema. I mean, I got Fire Stick and I downloaded Cinema, and I paid like $10 for 3 months for I don't know if it's a torrent blocker. I don't know what it's called. But basically, it gives me all the shows that I want to watch. So I can watch any TV show that I want to watch. And I started watching Euphoria, and I'm really, really good about predicting how these shows are going to end or how movies are going to end. You know, Euphoria's kept me on my toes. I'm wrong on a lot of things. And the one thing I do got to say I hate though is I hate empty threats. Like all the villains, you know, they always be like, "I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna talk to you for 10 minutes before." Like when I watched Avatar, I
Yes.
don't know if I talked to you about this on the screen or off the screen, but I'm like they're gonna hold the kids hostage like 10 times, and if you attack me, then we'll kill the kids. And they attack him like 3 times, and then killed never. I'm like, kill the kid. Like you warned them.
Yeah, be honest to your word. Come on now.
Yeah, you're empty threat. I'm not scared, but yeah, I don't know how many times I could see this guy like load a gun and never use it. I'm like, if he's just gonna point it at people, like, why do I need to see him load it? You know what I mean? So that's happened like 4 or 5 times. But yeah, the show's pretty good. I think I'm gonna start watching Succession now. And
Okay, I've heard
then
good things. We're watching The Night Agent. That one's also got a lot of like unpredictable.
I saw that on Facebook today. Somebody was saying Night Agent was really good.
It's really.
So
I'm gonna watch. I watched.
what's that
I
on?
think 3. It's on Netflix. I think I watched 3 episodes and then I stopped so that I could hold it for the airplane.
Okay.
Because it's that kind of show that you do not want to stop watching it, and so it's like perfect for flying.
Yeah, I got 2 flights. I think they're both an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to like get any sleep in, and I don't know if I'm gonna download a show. But I am reading a book. My buddy Adam Marburger, back in Alton, he wrote a book, and it's actually
Oh,
pretty
very
decent.
cool.
Yeah, so I can't put it down. I'm on
Like
chapter
a
3.
fun book or like a learning book?
I think it's called "You Are the Effing Problem."
Oh, Okay, so
and
it's a
it's
learning
like,
book.
yeah, and it's a self-help book. It's kind of similar to like the Andy Frisella 75 hard book and things like that I've been reading, basically just kind of affirming the steps to take to, better myself as a person. So I'm into it right now. It's just basically like a refresher course as far as how far off track I've gotten. But yeah, no cornhole
Interesting.
bragging for me though. Having fun, getting ready for this trip.
Cornhole
But
bragging.
yeah, I haven't touched the bag at all.
You haven't? Like, you don't
Nope.
have, like, a normal, like, weekly league you go to?
I could have signed up for leagues, but
Or I shouldn't say
no,
league. You guys don't have any just, like, blind draws or
I could do blind draws, but I've been playing the video game and watching TV shows lately, and just kind of cooking and hanging out at the house. So yeah, so it was the first time I kind of got out. I guess I'm bragging on the weather. Sinuses
I
are kicking in because the weather's starting to get real nice.
things are growing.
Yeah, it's 82 right now and nice little windy breeze.
Won't be in Corpus Christi, it'll be raining
Is it?
the whole time.
I haven't looked
Just
yet.
rain.
I'm gonna go shopping after this and prepare.
You just said you were gonna go sleep. Did you guys just hear him
Oh
all
yeah,
say he
yeah.
was
I'm definitely
sleep?
asleep, but I mean, like I have to wake up and get ready for tomorrow at some point.
All
I haven't
right.
packed.
Don't miss your flight this time, Wally.
One time.
Mhm.
One time, and it wasn't even my fault. I've never lived it down.
I will not let you live it down. But yeah, so the Night Agent is going to be a good one. And then what was the other one I downloaded? Oh, Ted Lasso new episodes. I'll be having ready for the airplane. We fly from Sacramento to Dallas, and I think that's like maybe 3.5 hours, and then Dallas to Corpus Christi. So
Gotcha.
that's like obviously a shorter flight, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I have this weird, I don't know about you, I think you could relate. I have this weird like conflicting thing happen where I'm like so excited and then like also ruminating on all of the like energy I'm going to require. So it's like so if someone says like, "Oh, are you excited?" I'm like, "Yes." And man, I'm going to be so tired. And I wish I didn't do that cuz I think it's kind of like an annoying thing. Like why focus on you said you wanted this, you're excited about it. Why focus on how tired you're going to be? But
Yeah.
I don't know, that's how my brain is operating.
Yeah, it's weird for me too because this is different for me this year. Last year, I had my own court. It was ACL,
Yeah.
K9, Ultra, and all cornhole. This year, I am part of the squad, so I don't really know how involved I'm going to be. I know we're getting like all brand new equipment, so are we going to have 3 microphones on the main broadcast court now? Am I supposed to talk? Am I supposed to just push buttons? Like I don't know what my role will
No, he
actually be until
specifically
we get
said
into it. You know what I mean?
because Korn asked that question and he said specifically, no, we want you to talk, like the
Yeah.
producers.
Well, that's different whenever it's Corn and one other person. But if like I have Bernie, Anthony, and you there, I mean, you ever see that picture of like the three-headed dragon? Like there's two serious looking dragons, there's one goofy looking dragon. Like that would be me.
You cannot put Bernie in the serious category. Come on now.
Well, I mean, people who belong, and then there's me. I don't know if I belong or not.
I don't think no, I don't know what belonging is
Yeah.
in this crowd. I think cornhole
So,
is unique like that. It's all over the place.
but yeah, I'm excited. I think Corn is doing a phenomenal job as far as putting his best foot forward to impress Trey and the broadcast.
It's
Because I
not like
mean,
he has to try, it's just how he is.
yeah,
You guys have
he's
to tune into court too because Corn is an overachiever.
yeah, Corn. I think we've already given him the Facebook platform, right, for teams.
Yes, he gets teams. So
Yeah, so
that's going to be his court. He's got cool transitions and graphics and all kinds of things to make
stats. I
that
mean,
super cool. Yeah. It's
yeah,
going to be awesome.
he puts in the extra effort. So I'll brag on Corn again. We've done it plenty of times, but
I think we have. We just keep
yeah,
bragging on Corn.
I think he's going to put on a phenomenal broadcast, and I hope he's going to have everything ready to go ahead of time because I know how he is. Like he can't stay focused at the very beginning. He always gets sidetracked with an idea, and next thing you know, we're running out of time. It's like just keep it simple is not part of his repertoire.
It's not. It's definitely not. That's why we love him. All right, we're going to take a quick break here and come back and talk about the lines we have coming up for this event right after this. All right, we have some lines to talk about. We did touch on them very briefly on Around the ACL. We talked just about a few of them, And as you were saying, Wally, there's definitely a couple that really jumped out at me just from the few we talked about. So let's go ahead and bring up the first one now so we can get into it.
Want me to click it?
Yeah, I don't know which one you want to start with, so I'll let you handle that.
Hopefully it's right. I had one on there. Okay.
So we got singles.
Yeah, so we'll start with singles. I think I have one that's missing. So give me 1 second. All right, let's go ahead and start with the doubles, I guess, because this is there is one missing. I'll add it now, but this is the top part of the doubles action. I did break it into 2 different sections, so it'll be a little bit easier for people to view. But the doubles action, as you can see, headlining Matt Guy and Jamie Graham as the top spot. Now,
shocking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, very, very strong, talented team. But as far as winning a national, didn't they win one national last year, like early?
I think it was the first one in Vegas, right?
I think so too.
Because I remember thinking Matt Guy won't. I remember saying after the first national, I don't think Matt Guy's ever going to lose. Like that's how confident we were in him.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when Creek Killer and Foreman. I think that was Atlantic City. Maybe they took him down the second one. But yeah, Matt Guy and Jamie Graham starting off at the plus 350 spot, along with Mark Richards and Philip Lopez Jr. Alex Rawls and Trey Birchfield at plus 400, and then Jordan Power and Jay Rubin at plus 800 before we get into the high value bets. Meesh, let's talk about those top 4. Anyone stand out to you as far as where you want to place your money?
No.
Just because of the odds?
To me, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I think if anything, Alex Rawls and Trey Birchfield are the one team that I think is showing very, very strong strides. So we talked about my betting strategy before as far as if I were to place a $100 bet on this, where can I hedge my bets elsewhere to make big bucks, right? So my break-even bet here would be $100 for Alex Rawls and Trey Birchfield. That gives me 4 bets that I can place, this one being one of them, and I have a chance to go and place 3 other $100 bets for big money as a break-even point.
But I don't even think it's that much of a guarantee. That's my issue.
No. But if I'm willing to put $400 down, I want to pick somebody who's going to be at the top part of this. The one team that stands out to me as far as at the top is Jake Trzynski and Tony Smith. I like what I'm seeing out of Jake Trzynski lately. They've switched bags, or he switched bags. He's throwing slinkies, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really high PPRs lately. And I talked to Tony Smith about it, and he said that they're more than likely going to throw Jake's bags.
Nice.
So we've seen Tony Smith win with all slides and slick bags before. I feel like that little change is going to be something that's going to throw Jake Trzynski and Tony Smith in the top part.
So I don't really know how that's going to translate for Tony Smith. I just know the combats are too slow. So I don't know.
Yeah. But Tony's accurate, though.
Of course. Yeah.
He's
but
so
he doesn't
accurate.
usually slide. He told me he can't even really slide those bags. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. I didn't know they were doing a bag switch up there in the doubles, but with a similar kind of, the plus 1200 Devin Harbaugh, Derek King, I don't know much about Derek King's game this season, but Devin Harbaugh being a top elite player, I don't feel like is going to pick someone for his doubles partner that he doesn't think can get it done.
Well, I kind of wanted to get into that a little bit later because Devin Harbaugh is one of the top singles players to go after as far as odds go. And then Derek King is near the bottom of the list. So
Yikes.
if you're telling me that there's that wide of a gap in singles and then you pair them up in doubles and put them as the 6th best team?
Yeah, but Derek King says that he's not as good of a singles player.
Yeah, I'm on the, as Trey would like to say, I want to see it first before I put money on it. Yeah, prove it. But a couple other strong teams on this list, Logan Chamberlain and Justin Burton Jr., they're throwing very, very well together, and I've liked a lot of what I saw out of Adam Hisner and Cody Henderson. So
yeah, that one stood out to me. Adam Hisner, Cody Henderson at plus 3,000 seems like a good bet. Even Frank Malden, Cheyenne Bubenheim, we haven't seen them play, so that's obviously a risky bet, but we know individually they both are, fire.
Yeah, we talked before about the odds for Team of the Year. How about the Sasuedas? I believe they're at plus 7,500 or something for Team of the Year. And here they are coming at 3,500 for doubles. So
wow.
Interesting pairing there. And then where's the bottom one?
You just had it. And then you went away. There you go.
Yeah. So Plus 5,000 for the newly formed Josh Holland and Nate Voyer.
Not taking it. Nope.
Again, I want to see something out of them first.
Ryan's I'd take.
Yeah, Creek Killer Form there at plus 500 or 5,500 rather.
5,500 and David and Alec Ryan at plus 5,000. I could take that. I think that would be, a good bet that I can see them winning.
Yeah, only other team on this list that I'm interested in is Nico Morales and Tom Gustafson.
Oh, see, I was saying right above it. Alan Rawls and Chris Kingsbury at plus 5,000, I think is a good bet.
Yeah, I like them. I'm high on them this year. They're one of my double teams to watch out for. Near the bottom of the list at plus 7,000, I'm really interested on seeing Dave Sutton do something.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm seeing right now is Jeremy Frazier just tear it up.
Mm-hmm.
So neither one of these people are on the singles odds, but you pair them up together and you're at plus 7,000. That could be sneaky.
Really? So Jeremy Frazier's not on the list at all for singles?
Not on the list at all for singles.
Wow.
And that's shocking to me.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit odd.
Yeah, unless I missed him, but I was looking pretty hard for him because, that's my guy. But coming in at plus 7,000, that could be an interesting team at the very bottom. But for the most part, I'm staying at plus 5,000 and above. The lowest I'd probably go would be Nico and Tom.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. Let's see what order I got this in. Okay. So there we go. Top part of the list. Mark Richards coming at plus 400. Jamie Graham at 7. Alex Rawls at 750. And then Devin Harbaugh at 950. Interesting part here with these top 4. Devin Harbaugh started at plus 1,500.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. So that means that what Trey was saying is that so many people were jumped on that they're like, whoa. I think we undershot that one.
And just to give you a heads up, I downloaded these at 8 o'clock this morning, plus 950 for Devin Harbaugh. Checked a second ago. He's at plus 900.
So it's going down still.
Money heavily coming in for Devin Harbaugh. Again, on this list, people that I would be interested in taking, Ryan Smith has just been showing very, very well. Obviously, Kyle Malone's a strong start. But Ryan Smith at plus 3,000 is very intriguing to me. And again, Tony Smith at plus 2,500. He was mad. We had him on a little segment with me and Jimmy Humans. We're playing Warzone, and I told him I had him at my number 7th rank for the year. He's like, "Oh, you got me going down." I was like, "Where are you at last year? 5?" He's like, "Well, I need to get higher than that." I'm like, "Okay." So
that's true. That would be having him go down. But I like Kyle Malone at plus 1,500. He's hot right now. I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, so we got to have our fantasy rosters turned in soon. Obviously, Alex Rawls is my number 1 pick. I'm gonna root for him on that one, but I can honestly see anyone win on this list as far as taking down singles. But I love the values that I'm getting out of Ryan Smith and Tony Smith.
Yeah.
If you got in early on Devin Harbaugh, good on you. But I was not fortunate.
Man, yeah, you're looking pretty right now.
All right, so here's the middle tier. I'm going to try and upload the last one. I didn't know if it would override it, but middle tier, we have a lot of value here. Just absolute a lot of value. Dylan Turpin, very, very strong showing at the first national last year, coming in at plus 4,500. We talked about Jake Kaczynski and his higher PPRs at plus 4,000. Noah Wooten at plus 4,500. I mean, a man's been on a mission right now, and he's been winning everything. Stephen Bernasette. He's at plus 4,000, took down conference, beating Jeremy Frazier. So seeing him at plus 4,000 and then not even seeing Jeremy Frazier anywhere on this list is very, very shocking. But another man who a lot of people are talking about putting their money on, Justin Burton Jr. at plus 3,500 on an absolute tear. And he's coming into this first national throwing very, very well. I'll be interested to see what the board conditions look like as far as how it matches his style of play, though. Anyone else outside of those standing out for you?
Man, I feel like, Noah Wooten stood out to me, like we said. I think that's a good bet. Joe Neested, I don't know about. It's hard because he just won this Open. Sometimes I feel like, a back-to-back win seems very unlikely, which makes me hesitant to want to put that bet on for this weekend for Joe Neested, even though I did take him in a hot take. But I feel like if he, I don't know. Do you feel like there's an advantage if they just came off a win or a disadvantage?
I feel like they're riding hot. They're feeling pretty confident. I mean, we talked plenty of times about how confidence is a huge factor as far as, what you can do and how it translates on the boards. But I mean, I would be interested in Joe Neested at the value that he's at compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, plus 3,500.
Yeah, if I'm going to take a home run hit, I wouldn't mind going after that one.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, and then let's see if I can get this last slide to upload. There we go. Not sure why it disappeared, but here's the bottom part. Again, pretty good value from what I'm seeing out of all these guys. Singles tournaments, Nico Morales having great finishes so far, plus 6,500.
Yeah.
We talked about Alan Rawls recently, 6,500, coming off of a win from Winter Haven, and then right below that, Cedro Herrera. He's been throwing great too.
Wow,
He's a sleeper.
Derek Holland at plus 6,000 seems like a good grab.
Yeah, Steady Eddie at 5,000, Chris Kingsbury at 5,500. I mean, there's a lot of value all across the board. Another strong player deserves honorable mention. I could see a lot of people possibly putting some money down on Mike Ferreira.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously he did well just this past weekend. Always been a strong player. Definitely hasn't had that big signature win yet. But for plus 7,000, I mean, if you're hedging your bets, doesn't seem like a bad way to go.
Yeah, plus 7,000 could be a big home run for you. And then he had a strong showing in, I believe, New Mexico. So I don't know. I'd be interested to put some money on any of those players, but I did check into it. We are not allowed to parlay for singles into doubles. So DraftKings will only allow you to pick single bets in this formation. But at this first national, I think there's good enough value in there where you could possibly take in maybe $500 if you can afford it. Obviously, scale it down to match whatever you're going to use for entertainment.
Go back to our disclaimer from the first
entertainment value.
Do you want to bring up the team odds?
We can do a commercial real quick and then do teams because I want to segue into the matchup that we're going to have on the broadcast court. But yeah, just figure out what you could afford to use for entertainment value purposes only. Figure out how you want to spread it around. If you want to go all in on one person, or if you want to spread it out to make profit, or if you're just doing it for funsies because you think it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, it does make it more fun to watch. That's what I like about it. But we can't do it, so we just are living through you guys.
Yeah. Let us know. And if we're completely wrong, do not let us know at all. Just
keep that to yourself and just say we're brilliant. That's how I prefer things to go. All right, I'll take a break, come back with teams odds right after this. All right, we went over singles and doubles, all those different lines. We do want to get into teams. You're going to give us a little slide, introduce us to what we're going to be looking at, though.
Yeah, so again, the teams that are going to be, up for basically head-to-head betting purposes, we have the Vegas High Rollers taking on the Cali Slingers. Ohio Aviators will take on the Texas Bully Baggers. Missouri Mays will take on the Arizona Burn. Michigan Marauders to take on the Florida Freeze. Kentucky Colonels versus the Carolina Coasters. And then the Carolina Coasters against the Missouri Mays. So I believe these are all broadcast matches. We're getting on court number 1, the Arizona Burn to take on the Missouri Mays. And you look at that, it's dead even.
Mm-hmm.
It's negative 115 against negative 115. We'll take a deeper dive into that one to kind of take a look at it. But starting at the bottom, Meesh, you got your Cali Slingers at plus 125 against the Vegas High Rollers. Are you interested in that one?
No.
You picked the Cali Slingers as your team this year.
Of course I did. I live in Cali, and that's my team, but I don't know.
Not feeling it.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, so for the Cali Slingers taking on the high, what are they called? High Rollers?
Yeah,
I don't know why I want to say Highlanders.
That's a different team.
Yeah, definitely different sport and everything. But that's the Tanner Halbert and Eric Zockline squaring off against Travis Persson and Bracey Blanton. I talked about wanting to see that match quite a bit. But I look at these matchups, and I think that it actually does heavily favor the High Rollers. I'm going to probably put my money on that one as negative 155 to win 100. Moving up, we talked plenty of times about the Aviators getting their trade, but the Texas Bully Baggers do have home field advantage sitting at plus 120.
Yep.
What do you think about that one?
Man, I mean, before going into all the different matchups, I would have said without hesitation, Texas Bully Baggers, home field advantage, great team. But when we went through each match, you're like, man, Ohio Aviators could pull this off.
Yeah, I think that the way they have their lineup set as well, they're setting themselves up for some early success. One person who was in question, and he kind of backed it up a little bit, is Ben Brown. Going
Mm,
into Canada, had a great showing. I believe he played in the
great
finals,
showing.
right?
He
So
won.
yeah,
Or no,
so
he got second.
he got
Wait, did he
second.
win?
Yeah, he won his
Second.
bracket. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ben Brown and Andrew Guy teaming up to take on Josh Glover and Ernest Monarca right at the second match. We got Trey Birchfield, Noah Monza, the first one, taking on AJ Sims and Dylan Turpin. And then Josh Glover and Ernest Monarca are going to have their hands full with Andrew Guy and Ben Brown. I like what I'm seeing out of
Absolutely.
Andrew. I like what I'm seeing out of Ben. I think the Aviators are going to strike early and possibly take that one down with the back end, Fisher Hamilton and Tyler Cobb, and then Josh Stin and Andrew Labrador. So I'm going with the Aviators on that one again, laying the odds, taking the action.
Wow. Okay. I just feel like I'd stay away from it, but I like that you chose it.
Yeah, I think the biggest deciding factor for me there is Ben Brown. He swayed me to the bet.
Okay.
And then I'm disappointed that we don't. I'm gonna skip ours, but I'm disappointed that we don't get to get the Michigan Marauders and the Florida Freeze. That's the one I was really wanting to see. But that is going to be on one of the other broadcast courts. Michigan Marauders coming in at -135, Florida Freeze at +105. I've mentioned plenty of times that I'm a big fan of the Florida Freeze and what they've done. So I'm actually taking the odds there, even though I love what the Michigan Marauders have done with their squad. We mentioned 4 pro teams playing together, and then you got Jaime Sanchez and Chucky Love as your kind of throw off team. Like, that's strong.
It
But
is a really strong team.
I actually see this one going to Game 7, so I'm pretty excited. It'll be Alex Rawls and Cheyenne Bubenheim to take on Jay Rubin and Jordan Power in Game 7 if that comes up. So, but yeah, I think I'll take a little gamble here. It's not much of a profit, but 105. Yeah, why not? Let's have fun. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is entertainment bet for me. This is the one that I'm placing money just to kind of watch and have fun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This one's kind of shocking to me. Kentucky
Me too.
Colonels at -135 against the Carolina Coasters at +105. Trey, statistics, everything are leading towards the Kentucky Colonels, and I am still just not sold on it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Am I wrong in this?
I think it's an extremely strong team. I don't know if I necessarily think it's that these odds are what I would have predicted. I mean, Carolina Coasters at +105 seems like a no-brainer, even though the Kentucky Colonels are a very strong team.
Yeah, I mean, you got the big matchups going against each other. You got Jamie Graham and James Baldwin taking on Matt Guy and Brett Guy. That should be pretty fun. And then if it comes down to game number 7, Damon Dennis and Nate Stevens will take on Trevor Burks and Berkeley Pear. But I don't know. I just look at the Florida Freeze with all their experience on the broadcast court. I'm staying there. I'm going with I'm sorry, Carolina Coasters.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, Carolina Coasters. Agreed.
All right, and then again, going to the top, Carolina Coasters against the Missouri Mays. This is by far the biggest spread at -165 and +135. I believe all of us are pretty much going with the Coasters on this one, but it brings up interesting matchups for me because I do like what Ryan Windsor said during his interview whenever we had him on, as far as he wants to strike early. And there's a lot of pressure on him and Gavin Cano to take down Trevor Brooks and Berkeley Perry. And I honestly think they could do it.
Yeah.
The second matchup is the one that I also find very intriguing because the way Cedro's been throwing lately against with Jalen Jones going against Eric Davis and Derek King. But I mean, they're pro partners. So Cedro and Jalen should have some pretty good chemistry going into that one. Eric Davis and Derek King, I'm going to be kind of curious as far as how they gel.
I might take the Mays.
I mean, I'm looking at these matchups. I like the Mays because if Windsor and Gavin can take down game 1 and Cedro and Jalen take down game 2, I think Fuentes and Brown against Morris and Patuski is pretty even. And I think the deciding factor there could be Ethan Walker and Austin Renard against Kaylee Hunter and Chad Hunt. If they could pull off that one, they might be able to pull off the early upset. And then game number 7, if it comes down to it, Matt Troxel and Curtis Kearns will take on Mike Harvey and Kevin Whitaker. So that could be a fun one.
Interesting.
All right, then let's take a look at the one that we're going to be getting. Again, this match is -115 against -115. That means it's pretty much straight up. Whoever you want to take, that's where your money's going to go. Lay $115 to win 100. We have the Arizona Burn taking on the Missouri Mays. They're keeping the same matchups. They're just mixing up the pairings. So or I'm sorry, they're keeping the same pairings or mixing up the order in which the matchups occur. So,
Okay, there we go.
yes, sorry,
He's
my
like,
head was
that ain't
working, mouth not
well,
saying
that's an
much.
interesting strategy.
Yeah. So one team that I'm rooting for, and this is because Athena put in so much work and so much preparation going into the draft. We had her on our show. She was talking about it. I'm rooting for the Burn. I just do not like what they're doing here with their lineups, personally.
Hmm.
I feel like the lineups pretty much made themselves. You got Brandon Jones and Jeff Reynolds both throwing Reynolds bags, obviously. I would have
Yeah.
paired them up together. Ty Lopez, I would have sworn he would have been throwing Moses. I don't know. Obviously, they've had plenty of discussions about what they're doing and why they're doing it. Seeing Cameron Holland and Christian Brown together is kind of head scratching for me. I see Christian Brown more of a roller, and Cameron Holland. I don't know if he necessarily fits the same throwing style and what bag choice they land on. I don't know. But again, we like the Mays. If they're able to pull off the upset against the Coasters, I see no reason why they can't pull off this victory over the Burn. Where do you land on this one?
I agree. I agree. I like the Mays lineup here. I think it's actually surprising that it's dead even.
Yeah, I feel like it's heavily towards the Mays personally. If I were to make odds on this, I'd probably say negative 130, negative 140 on the Mays. So if I'm a betting person, I'm probably getting in on the Mays before those odds change. The one thing I do like about the Burn, though, if it comes down to game number 7, Derek Holland and Brandon Jones, I think, have a strong advantage on paper over Lexi Hugebeck and Emily Downer. And
Completely
again, you
agree.
got the question mark with Lexi's health. I mean, she says she's
Yeah, with
ready to
her
go.
back. I know. Yeah, I think Derek Holland in your 7th match is kind of odd.
Yeah, that was your first pick, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you put him last.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really betting you're going to get to game 7.
Yeah, I mean, if I have Derek Holland and Moses, that's a little terrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a little nervous
exactly.
about that. So I don't know. I mean, Brandon Jones and Derek Holland, maybe they found a bag they like, and they've all talked about a lot of things, but we'll see. One thing's for sure, though, we have to get there and we have to put the bags on the board to figure out exactly what's going to happen. So I'm excited. I like what we've done with teams this year. The draft has been phenomenal. I expect the action to be phenomenal. I'm ready for it.
Agreed. All right, take a quick break and come back and talk about how we can best prepare for long cornhole weekends right after this. So we were chatting about some of the things we could talk about in this sort of mindset section, and it just so happened that on ACL Live we had Tanner Halbert, Devin Harbaugh, and Alex Hicks on, and I was asking them some questions about like how do you keep endurance, and Alex Hicks, being a kid, was like, I drink Dr. Pepper. You're like, okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like exactly the strategy I was thinking, but caffeine is definitely an option. but I loved the way that Tanner approached it when he talked about it. So I wanted to touch on that, and then also some of the stuff that Devin brought up. But when it comes to preparing for cornhole tournaments, I think the main like obvious things, and I say obvious, but like really hear me on this: sleep and hydration. So I say that it's obvious, yet most of us like to enjoy alcoholic beverages, which are dehydrating. So I know that there are benefits to having alcohol because it can help take the edge off. But if you're not equally hydrating, you're kind of like killing yourself at the same time of having endurance. So it might help you win some games because you're not in your head, but it will stop your stamina for the entire day because you're dehydrated. And also remembering that water is not enough. I know that cornhole's not like super active, but it's draining. So whether you're commentating or playing, you need electrolytes. So, coconut water or something like that has more than just plain water is going to be crucial so that you're fully hydrated in all aspects. So hydration, and then sleep. You know how hard it is. Well, I don't know. It depends on your personality, but I get FOMO. And so when people are like, hey, we're going to go and do this, I'm like,
Yeah, mini bags till 3:00 in the morning the day before a big tournament. Not a good
yes.
idea, folks.
But
Not a
like,
good
it
idea.
sounds so fun, and like, and I really want to, and I know it's going to be fun. And then I wrestle in my head with like, well, you're only here this weekend, like just go full out. But then it kills me the next day. So
Yeah.
I have learned to like really check in with myself and say like, what's going to serve me tomorrow? Like not right now, but what's going to serve me tomorrow? And that requires me to say no. And I have to say that I never regret it. Like when I'm in bed at the hotel, all cozy with my DoorDash, watching Friends and like in my sweats, I'm like, this was the right choice.
Yeah. I talked a little bit earlier about that book, and one of the chapters I just got done reading is the most powerful word you can say is only 2 letters. No.
Mm-hmm.
You wanna go out till
No.
3 o'clock in the morning? No.
No.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on this plane, on this hotel, on this, entry fee basically to be a pro, and, I wanna make sure I put my best foot forward in the match, so, yeah, don't be afraid to say no and give it your all. It's hard. I definitely get you on that one.
The other thing that I loved that Tanner brought up hydration. He said he uses Gatorade. I think that that's also great. And then the other thing he brought up that I haven't heard someone specifically touch on that is, I think, really important is he said he doesn't just throw bags constantly between games. And there was this, what's it called? When you're a punter. Oh my God, forgetting the name of that. Anyways, he was a coach for that. Blanking on the name, but and he told.
Are you talking about the guy?
No, long. It's called long something.
Oh, long snapper.
Like, thank you, long snapping. So he was a long snapping coach, and he said he would have these players that like before it was time for them to go out there, they'd be just like kicking. You know, they have like the little net thing there you can kick in, and he'd tell them stop kicking. Like you're wasting all of your kicks. Like there's a fine line between warming up and exhausting the tool that you need. And so Tanner said that when he finishes a game, if he threw really well, then he just goes and sits down. He's like, I got it. Like I don't need to get out there. And then he said, if he knows there's going to be a big break, then he'll like every 20-30 minutes, just go throw for like 5 minutes just to keep his arm warm. And then if he didn't throw well in that game, then he'll go and throw for like 10 minutes. But that's it. So no extra throws, that you're not wasting all of that. So you can
I think like 10 or 15 minutes of actually competitive practice, or getting somebody on the board who's ready to help warm you up is key. But you're talking about just nonstop throwing. There are players out there at the elite level who just nonstop throw, but at that stage, your body should be ready to go for this type of tournament. If you're not putting in the practice ahead of time and getting your
it's too late
down, it's too late. The only thing that you're going to do is probably frustrate yourself because your roll's not working. Your airmail is just a little bit off, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't even translate to the game that you're about to play anyway, because you're more than likely going to have a different opponent than you're warming up against, and you're going to have a different board than you're playing on. So you're going to have to go to that court and warm up and get ready anyway. But yeah, you got to control the energy and save it. Now I'm the type of person that I'm like, I'm not going to get better or worse. So everyone's like, warm up. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It is what it is.
And sucking it all in, enjoying it. Like
I am like the first to sit down and like be like, yeah, whatever happens. And that, but I was also never the person that crammed for a test until 3 a.m. I was like, hey, I'm going to bed and getting sleep, and whatever I know at this point is what I know. Like, it's too late. The test is tomorrow morning. Like, what are you going to do?
There's some people that get there, doors open at 8, tournament doesn't start till 10:30 or whatever, or 11, and they're throwing the entire time. For me, I just need 30 minutes of warm up time. I need to make sure that I go through my rituals and get myself ready. But I cycle between water, Gatorade, and then like a beer. My beer is my energy drink. And then my Gatorade is to help me get through the day, and water just to kind of really just do something. It's a pacer for me.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm a little bit off, I'll go back and I'll take a sip of the social sauce and then get back to the board and throw. So.
Yep. And then the other thing, once again, obvious, but food. So what I do is as soon as I get to the hotel in whatever city I'm in, I go to my DoorDash immediately and find the closest grocery store or Target or something like that. And I order water. I order like breakfast type items, because those tend to be the hardest to get to because of the times that things start. So like muffins or croissants, like I know it's not like a healthy breakfast, but at this point you just need food. So get whatever can be easy that doesn't need to be cooked, that you can actually get, because what would happen to me is I'd be like, oh, I'll just head to XYZ and get breakfast. And it just would never happen. And then I'd be like, oh, I'll just get a snack in here. And that break wouldn't happen. And then pretty soon it's, 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten and I'm just completely dysfunctional. So, and then if you're drinking, you won't even realize how hungry you are because you're technically putting calories in your body.
Yeah.
So, I get that. And then I get snacks like, turkey jerky and trail mix and things like that to have on me, granola bars on my, in my backpack at all times. And it's really just a lot of taking care of yourself. And then the other piece of it is just going to be doing it, right? You just have to, you build endurance by doing endurance things. You just got to do it.
You got to know your body too. I wanted to bring this up with Jordan last week and I forgot, but I've got a few people back home that, they forget to take their medicine or, their insulin shot or something like that to sustain a long day. So you need to make sure that if you're supposed to be taking medicine or whatever to sustain the day, make sure you're keeping track of what time it is, make sure everything's regular. And plan ahead because there's a lot of people that sometimes they get in that environment, they hang out, they start partying a little bit, and the next thing, oh, I'm up on court, whatever, and they go play, and then you go to the loser's bracket, and then when you're in the loser bracket, it's nonstop, bang, 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 bang. Next thing you know, you're in a very important match to get to the money, and you're like, oh, I'm a little shaky. Something's
exactly. I was gonna say, and if you're the type of person that can't eat because of like nervous belly. Then I recommend like smoothie type drinks. Now you probably can't get a smoothie unless you can like DoorDash or something, but they have like those like naked drinks or whatever, where it's like basically a smoothie kind of thing. At least it's putting nutrients in your body. If I can find them, I always try to get those like juices, not like regular juice, but like juices. When people juice them, and then it's like expensive, and it has just like lots of vitamins and nutrients. It's just literally the vegetables juice with like a fruit to make it taste better. I try to get, so I have one of those every morning because it's hard to eat and get all those nutrients when you're on the road. So think about those kinds of things that you can do to prepare your body and take care of yourself. And then be honest with yourself about what your needs are. And so if that means I need to go take a time out because there's just too much stimulation, like I have to just go step out sometimes and be like, I can't hear another sound. Like I just need like a de-stimulation break. I am overloaded with a sensory experience. Be honest with yourself about what you need.
Yeah, that's very important too, because we do have a new format with teams. There's going to be a lot of first timers on this broadcast court. So there's going to be a lot of new senses coming in, bright lights, crowd cheering. I'll be there in the front row for Saturday. I don't even know what event that's going to be, but it's going to be interesting to see how these first timers can control the long weekend, managing their food, managing their sleep. And then, some of them, they're used to playing in the morning and not necessarily sitting around and playing at night. So yeah, prepare, youngsters, prepare.
And the last thing that I liked that Devin Harbaugh brought up was just obviously the mental side of the game, which is something I'm obviously very passionate about. But he talked about something as simple as not focusing on the negatives. So not focusing on the shots he missed, not focusing on, the times he didn't play well, but focusing on the times that he did play well and how that's really helped him stay positive and become a better player. So as you're going through the day, try to stay positive, optimistic, focus on what you're doing well. And that doesn't mean that you can't improve on what you're not doing well, but it also means it's probably a little late for that. So just really focus on being your best cheerleader and give yourself the confidence that you can get through that. So I think those are some things that could help.
Good
and
stuff.
And I know a lot of those help me. And I try to get naps in whenever I can, just as always possible. But I always try to get them in if I have a moment. Sneak away to the hotel and get a nap in. It's worth whatever the Uber drive is going to cost you. I promise. All right, that's all we got time for. Wally, I get to see you in just a couple days. I'm so excited, and everyone tune in to all the awesome cornhole action this weekend in Corpus Christi. Until next time, I'm out.
There you go.